Where are we at with the Auburn football program right now? I think we're at the fringe of a very, very dark place for them right now, for considering for the 2024 season. So they're 2-2 with losses to Arkansas and to Cal, both at home. So not a great start. But their next three games coming up are Oklahoma, again at home, at Georgia, and at Mizzou. It's very possible those are three losses right there, setting you back to 2-5 on the season. So let's take a step back to prior to the start of the season where Hugh Freeze was getting a lot of criticism of, why didn't you take a quarterback? Because they knew Peyton Thorne wasn't going to be the answer there. And how come you didn't bring anybody in to replace him? Well, I think it's clear now why they didn't try to bring in a quarterback, because they're not 1 year away. I think they're 1 year away now, but they knew that this season wasn't going to be the season that they could compete in the SEC. Now, it's very frustrating for Auburn fans and for really college football fans to see them struggle, but I think we understand why that they didn't want to go out and get a quarterback, because the quarterback isn't the only problem here. The turnovers have been an absolute nightmare for them, and that has been their number one problem. And obviously, a lot of that stems from quarterback play, but there are other holes around the team that need to be filled, and either through recruiting or through the transfer portal. So there's a lot of area to improve upon. But this year, their turnover margin, they're -10 in the turnover margin. That is good for worst in FBS. Out of 133 teams, they are the worst in the FBS at -10. And Hank Brown and Peyton Thorne aren't the answer. And Hugh Freeze pretty much called them out last game in his press conference, saying that we need guys who's not going to throw the football to the other team. And he's right. Now, do I think he should have really said that? Maybe not, but he's also not really wrong in that answer. But they know that. They know they don't have a quarterback. The crazy thing is, offensively, I honestly haven't been as bad as it seems. Like, Jarquez Hunter has been running the ball pretty well. He's averaging over 7 yards a carry. They're just not using him like they should be using him. Like, he got 12 carries last week. Now, I think a lot of that is because they were, playing down or trying to win a game and need to do it through the air. But even through the air, there are dudes like Keandre Lambert-Smith has been really good for them so far. They have Cam Coleman, who's a threat. Keandre Lambert-Smith is averaging 28 yards per reception this season. Last game against Arkansas, he went for 156. So there are glimpses of success and ways you can win with this team that they have right now. But due to turnovers and really poor quarterback play, they're just not able to get it done. But defensively, they're 62nd in the country in total defense, which is for an Auburn program, that's not where you want to be, nor where you should be. But considering you're -10 in the turnover margin this year, it could be a lot worse. So I think I just talked about the three games they got coming up. I think this is kind of a throwaway season for them. Obviously, that sucks to hear as an Auburn fan, but I think you can, at the very least, buy into Hugh Freeze as a recruiter. He's pulled in some great classes. He brought in Cam Coleman, and I think he'll do well recruiting and continue to do well recruiting for Auburn, because that's a proven commodity for him. So I think next year you just got to unload in NIL, bring in the guys you need in the transfer portal, spend a lot of money for the high school guys, maybe more than you probably should, to make sure you got the classes stacked up, and really plan for 2025 and beyond. I do have hope for them in the future, just not this year. Follow Big Body Ball CFB on all socials.